Welcome, my Alpha Squad, to the Stanley Parable. I've heard quite a lot about the game, and I decided to get it for our channel, for us. So let's hop right in and see what it's all about. Just give me a second, and let's begin. Never the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh. So
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
So
this is what
an
employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Really?
As though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
And how frickin' lazy can
And then
you
one
be?
day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never
We're now the
forget.
protagonist, let's go!
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Aww.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, hello. Okay. No. Yes. I hate Mondays. Don't we all, buddy? Don't we all?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Wait.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Meeting room, yeah, sure. Number one dad. I don't believe that's true. I'm the best dad. I mean, what? I like work. I just hate my boss. Smile. Eh. Not very interactive, this world, is it? Why is no one here, yet their computers are left on? What wasteful people. Not that I hate Mondays. Good thing doors aren't closing anymore. What did that one say? I don't know. 4B3. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his left? Nah, screw that.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I want to, like, bruh. Everyone's so wasteful, just leaving their computers on. I wanna explore, buddy. Give me options. Come on.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It would be better if I could, like, see outside, maybe get a drink. What drinks do they have anyway?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Okay,
I'll leave.
so
Utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Okay, I'm going.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't see an open door, do you?
Stanley Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
You're lying right now, stop. Yeah, don't lie. Come on, you guys enjoyed the video. Show me how much you enjoyed the video. Ooh. Okay. What's in here? An access card. Danger. Vent access for trained employees. Vent access? What vent access? Why can't I jump? Usually can jump in the game. And let's see. Do not jump from cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Isn't that the same thing?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Oh, yeah?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
I don't know who you are.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay, fine, do that. There's nothing here. Come on, show me. You want to prove it? Then show me something. No buckets past. Okay, why not? Do not stand on this side.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door, you say? Okay, no.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, sure.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Well, that's kind of why I'm doing it.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
The third option? I think I'm gonna go here again.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here,
I didn't even take the third door, though.
Previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Well, hello.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Offline? I don't get it. What are the times, though? Do you really want me to go through the left door? Okay. Let's try the third one. Hello? Wait. Nah, let me out. Oh, damn it. Did I break the game? Hello? I'm stuck. I'm actually stuck. Narrator? Buddy? You there? Hello? Like, funny joke. Now let me out, please. Is there like a checkpoint or something? I want to do something real quick. Command goes here, crouch, shift down, yeah, back. Yeah, that's much better. I was just supposed to teabag the door or something. Let me out! Let me out! Is there really nothing I can do? Like, absolutely nothing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I have no idea, but that was so weird. Writing input. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Do I listen this time? Nah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow.
I've already been here.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't see an open door.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
What
off
happens
on
if
the
I
wrong
just
foot
jumped
here.
in the water?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your
Geronimo!
trust in someone else, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, sure, I missed a memo. What? Why is it off? Oh. Okay, not my brightest idea. I admit that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
But I feel like I'll just get stuck in here. Okay,
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm
I go
not.
up there?
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? What?
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road?
No, I just want to get back to the point where I was and not get stuck.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
I'll do your story in a bit,
man. I put a lot of time into that because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab.
You haven't given me much either,
you can give me some feedback.
You know, 50,
there we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay, this time I'll actually take the third door.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that?
The fact that it glitched out, that's the reason I put down the 3.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Okay.
Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Not really. What do you mean it's me? Huh. Okay. So I'm in last place? Bruh. You're an ass. No! No, 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 no. No! You can't do this to me. You're an absolute ass. Okay, fine. We'll do it your way. Yes, begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Go through the left door this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Ooh. I can open this door? Let's go.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What do you mean? There's a broom and a bucket. A mop bucket.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet.
Can I take this duct tape and tape your mouth shut? Give me a wrench. Give me something.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way.
There's something to interact with.
He's just standing
Door.
there doing sweet FA.
Did you just say Ethel? You bastard. You didn't swear.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Yep.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I'm enjoying this door action, man. It's the first thing I can interact with. What do you want from me?
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
The reason I explored it is because it's the first door I can actually freaking open, man.
Maybe
what did you
this is
expect me to
somehow
do?
its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
Man, you're really laying on heavy on the British there. They stay.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably
now
got
you're
the
just
job
rude.
because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I mean, those are addicting.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now.
Oh, yeah?
You're dead. You got to this
I'm
broom
dead?
closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system.
Oh, the
and you
real
collapsed
me
on the
is
keyboard.
dead.
Well, in a situation like
How'd you
this,
know?
the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Oh.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is
Joke's on
dead.
you. I use
They have
headphones.
fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the
And now
irony
you're just
and
insulting the
insightful
human race.
commentary of this game is not lost on them.
Okay.
When you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Oh, yeah? Broom closet!
Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky.
Oh,
I'll
yeah?
just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
How long are you willing to wait, though? I'm very patient. No, for real, I'm very patient, man. Come on. Bring it on. It's you can wait longer. Okay, fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But there's a downstairs, though. Ooh.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss,
What's out there?
admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
I'm stuck in
For
a loop.
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter,
already,
these
man.
rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
Yep.
simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Okay.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Oh. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
You talk a lot, don't you?
He thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float amid the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
How would I do that?
He closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin.
That's not how you wake up.
On his back,
you don't wake up by falling asleep.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Wait, I have a wife.
My life is normal.
I did not know that.
I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Oh shit, when's the anniversary?
I am okay.
Okay. Hey, I'm back here. Let's go.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice?
Why is everything getting more red?
Who am I? And everything went black.
Bro.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Wait, what?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
You killed me off for not listening to you?
For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane.
You're such an a-hole.
I am in control of my mind.
Oh my word, you killed me off for not listening to you.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. and then she turned and ran.
Oh man, you are so not cool. Okay. What's with all
the meeting room? Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
What's with all the papers, buddy? Why is the floor covered in papers?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Fine. Ooh, fancy. Executive bathroom? Yes, please. Let's go. Privacy. Man, to be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What life it would be to have to pick just one. Extreme bathrooms, brought to you by the toilet. Woo! Okay, let's go. Oh, Susan. Susan? It's over here. Boss, you have some questionable art business strategy. I don't like that. Hello. Let's go. Oh, he's actually singing as well. Are we actually going anywhere? Doesn't feel like it. Yeah, we didn't go anywhere. You sly bastard. I am the most expensive boss. If you say so, sir. Ooh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Sewage lines.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. So the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
No, I couldn't. Let's try every pass there. 1. Zero, 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 1.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Fine, 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ooh, hello. Are you gonna do the infinite elevator thing again? Sure hope not. Oh, this one's actually moving, okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Why do we have to jump?
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Oh yeah?
This question would not go unanswered for long.
If you say so.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape!
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
You already killed me off once, why not just do it again?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nah.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. Last time you killed me off without me realizing it. This time I'm choosing it for myself. Geronimo! Oh, I'm still falling. Man, I have some powerful legs!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Sploosh!
Stanley.
Accept it with dignity! What?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay. What? No! You debated me. The Stanley Parable!
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Oh,
What
yeah?
exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? Filing cabinets. 1, 2, and 3. That's just a weapon sounds. It's actually kind of cool. What's over here? There's an upstairs. Back rooms over here. The lounge. Mind control facility.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you...
I don't know if I want to listen to that the entire time. I mean, it's a little... I think that would get a little repetitive. Monitor room. Apparently I'm missing out on quite a bit by not just going down the actual path. Vending model. Over here. Woo. Trailers. The game is now fun. Meeting room. Okay. Hello. It just keeps going. Warzone? Interesting. Fusion reactor? What? Oh, I'm just on the other side now. From Anthony W. Subject, what is this strange number? Narrator emails. Never mind. Here. Office examples. Honestly, it's pretty cool to see this side of the stuff.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How
Oh,
they
yeah?
wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Okay, now what? Skaboosh.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
I guess not.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push
How
escape
so?
and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose
Nah,
it. Don't
I
let
came to
time
get
choose
crushed.
for you. Don't let...
There we go. Yes. Ah, gosh darn it. Well, if you want to see me do the actual route we're supposed to do and stuff like that, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're not part of the AlfaStrategist already, why not? It's an awesome squad to be a part of. And all you have to do is subscribe. And if you wanna hang out with the rest of us, just join the Discord. I don't know how long this game actually is, so this might be quite a few videos, so, you know, stick around for it. I'm sure you'll want to see everything. And I'll see everyone next time.